Today, I set myself up to do a challenge that no one has ever beaten. Project Arrhythmia has been out for 7 years now. It's about time someone were to make a level while being under the influence of dementia. Is it even possible? Can it be done? Today, I set myself up to beat a challenge that no one has ever beaten. Project Arrhythmia has been out for 6 years now. Can I make a level with dementia? I started by loading in and creating my first object. It was a default square, nothing too special. I then went and created my first object. It was a default square, so nothing too special. It was at this moment I realized something. Can you make a Project Arrhythmia level with dementia? Is it even possible? Today, I set myself up to do a challenge that no one has ever beaten. Project Arrhythmia has been out for 11 years now. Can I make a level with dementia? I knew it was going to be a hard challenge, but I needed to do it. I started by creating a new object. It was a default square, so nothing special. I wonder if I can make a prefab now. I decided I was going to need some objects for my prefab. I started creating my first object. It was a default square, so nothing too special. Once I created it, I started creating a prefab out of the objects that I had. I knew that you can make a prefab out of multiple objects to reuse them later in the level. For some reason, I had more objects than I originally created, but it'll work out in the end. And if you guys say that I used other people's prefabs, I didn't. That would be dumb. You see, it's about time for someone to make a level while being under the influence of dementia. Can it be done? Is it even possible? Today, I set myself up for a challenge that no one in Project Arrhythmia has ever beaten. Project Arrhythmia has been out for 9 years now. Can I make a level with dementia? If I was going to make that prefab, I would first need some objects, so I started creating my first object. It was a default square, so nothing too special. You see, you can make a prefab to reuse multiple objects later in the level. Knowing this information, I decided to add some parallax objects to my level. Once I was done, I tried to create a new prefab. I eventually got to the prefab creation menu and decided to make one. You see, you can make a prefab so that you can reuse multiple objects in your level. Knowing this, I would be able to finish my level fast, but there is one slight issue. Project Arrhythmia has been out for 8 years now. It's about time someone were to make a level under the influence of dementia. Is it even possible? Can it be done? Today, I set myself up with a challenge to do that no one has ever beaten. Can I make a level with dementia? After getting this far, my head started to hurt, so I started creating objects for creating a prefab. After 2 hours of editing, I have made it pretty far. I had a lot of objects somehow. I seriously still don't know how I had all these objects. But since my hard drive doesn't have much storage, I figured I would just make this part 1, just so I could get this video out there. Stick around for part 2 coming out tomorrow. You see, tomorrow I'm going to set myself to do a challenge that no one has ever done. I'm going to be making a Project Arrhythmia level with dementia. Is it even possible? Can it be done? Well, tune in tomorrow to see what happens. I'll see you all tomorrow. Tune in tomorrow to see what happens.